How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and to the Angels series here on MLB the Show 26. We plan to finish up the month of April today, and that involves taking on the Blue Jays and the White Sox as we wrap things up. Some things to note to start here, some housekeeping, I guess you could say. I'm going to crank up the injury sliders to play it. I'll keep the same, but simming, I'm going to crank it up to 7 because I want to have more injuries, but I also want it to not be, I thought about cranking it all the way up to 10, but I was like, no, the game will break, basically. So I moved it up to 7, and I'll keep it at default right now for in-game when we actually play. But for now, it's going to be at 7. That way we have to rely on our depth, which the Angels don't really have. But we also can't exactly, make it a little more realistic. I also turned down the trade deadline or trade frequency slider. I'll crank that up a little bit more as we progress through. So yeah, there's that. So we take on the Padres, and we've got a critical situation. Sometimes I'll play these, and if they're worth keeping in the video, I'll keep them in, but I didn't feel necessary. We win that one 3-2. And it looks like we walked it off. We did in the 12th. Just our poor bullpen. Our pitchers can't even go 5 innings, and then they end up getting, the bullpen gets taxed that way, and then we go extras. Drew Pomeranz, our first injury, big injury of the season. Kikuchi was out for a couple of days, but Pomeranz goes down, and he's out 2 to 3 months, so it's going to be up to Robert Stevenson to come on up. He's having a nice little start to his AAA season. Kind of surprised he didn't start the year on the big league roster, but whatever, he's here, and we will probably see him later today. Looking up at scouting here, Bryant Rice is at 95%. He's still number 12 on our board, but when you look at his numbers a little bit more closely, his floor, he's got, it looks like a decent floor, but not a very high ceiling. I just can't imagine these numbers are better than, because his current caps are like right where his future, the bottom of his future. So I'm just not that impressed with Bryant Rice. And I think I figured out the problem is this scout that scouted him has 80 efficiency, and I ended up firing them at the end of the month and getting a different scout with higher efficiency. But I think that 80 efficiency is going to hurt us. I'm not really sure if I'll take him or not at 12 if he stays. I think, though, the plan now for scouting is to just scout every position player that's available. Like the first 4 or 5 players on the big board are position players, and they may stick around, so it doesn't hurt to scout them. Plus, they're older, and I feel like I don't really know what, they could be good trade pieces that could bring value now. If we had pitching, which I'm really tempted to go pitching heavy with this draft anyways, then maybe we don't worry about position players, because I like this lineup a lot, but we sure can't pitch. So just some thoughts that I'm having as we go through scouting. But we will move on here and start this game against the Blue Jays. Now, the idea for the first month of the season was play 1, sim 5, see how we do with all 5 of our guys. We are on our 5th starter today, Ryan Johnson, and we'll kind of just figure it out the rest of the way as we go. But look at that, y'all. Trey Savage K's 11 as he allows 0 runs in his win against the Angels. Astros win their 7th straight game, so they're really trying to make a very early push. Very hot start to the season for that AL West. But yeah, your Savage looks filthy. The bullpen for us, though, has not been that bad, and I think with the addition of Stevenson, we'll be a little bit better. Obviously, we're not getting saves because we're not good enough, but Everything else looks pretty good. Walks, you don't like 9 walks over 4 games, but I do like seeing 19 strikeouts. Only 1 earned run over the last 4 games through 19 and a third innings pitched. So we're allowing basically a walk an inning. That sucks. But other than that, I like the bullpen. I think it's doing quite well. It's outperforming, and it's just our rotation. If our rotation could do anything, I think we would low-key be a little bit competitive, but it's not. Which pitcher will get their first win of the season? Who will break that seal? Ryan Johnson toes the rubber and tries to do that tonight, but George Springer is going to lead off the ball game with a double down the right field line, and we are back to being overworked. Runners on, traffic on the bases for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's probably having a better year in this game than he is in real life. What a fall off. But Springer stays put. Here is your lineup for the Blue Jays. You got Springer, Guerrero Jr., Alejandro Kirk, Varsho in center, Barger in third, Davis Schneider at DH, Jesus Sanchez in left, Ernie Clement at second, and Tyler Fitzgerald at shortstop. And Alejandro Kirk is going to fly out to Trout. And Johnson trying to get out of this without surrendering a run. But Dalton Varsho has other plans as he hits one to a similar spot that Springer did. That one's going to hop over the wall, and the Jays take a 1-0 lead. Trying to add on. That's a ground ball to Neto. He has plenty of time to field, and Johnson gets out of it. We go to the second now. Schneider goes down on strikes for his first K of the day. And here is Jesus Sanchez, 6, 7, and 8 for the Jays. Sanchez hits righties well, not lefties not so much, and he's going to have a base hit. So yet again, more traffic on the base paths for the Blue Jays. Well, for the Angels pitching. That's a big strikeout for the third out of the inning. 2 punch-outs for Ryan Johnson, and he limits the damage. Joe Adele on the block trying to make it, make a statement here to stay in Anaheim, and that's another home run. That is one thing we do well. We hit bombs. We are 7th in the league in home runs, and Adele has not really been a major producer in that category, as that's just his second of the season, but it gets us on the board and ties the game. That's down the left field line for Jorge Soler, and that's going to be a 1-out double. A little bit closer than I thought, but you know what? You got to take those chances. Soler in scoring position for Christian Moore. He's playing second base. Adam Frazier has already been cut from that role. He will be on the bench, and that will give the Angels a 2-1 lead. Josh Lowe's been another surprise to start the season. That's hit towards right center, and Varsho making a running catch. He's so good out there in center field. He will end the inning, but the Angels take the lead. Vladdy grounds to Moncada. He has plenty of time to throw, but pulls Shotwell off the bag, and that's going to be an E5. So that's not what you want. You're trying to get a clean inning for Johnson, but it's just not going to work that way. Free base runner, and Guerrero will stay put at second. 2 on, 1 out. Varsho made a great play in the last half inning, and he is going to add to his nice little night so far. So he ties this ball game. Runners at second and third. Barger floats it into right field. That's going to score 2 as the throw is a little offline from Adele. And the Jays quickly take a 4-2 lead, all because Moncada couldn't throw the ball. And it was Vladimir Guerrero. It's not like he's fast. That is to right field. Adele is there. 2 outs. All right. Josh Lowe is back up here for his second time, and he's going to draw a walk. Runner at first for Yoan Moncada. And he's trying to make up for that error as that's into center field. So, 2 on, 1 out for Mike Trout. He hits that one towards short. Or I should say towards left. Sanchez makes the play. I have to use my magnifier when recording these videos, so sometimes it's just aimed a little off, so that's probably why I made that misplay, or miscall. But anyways, it doesn't matter. The rally dies, and we're through 5. It's a 4-2 Blue Jays lead. And once again, we're going to have to go to the bullpen. And what better guy to show off if we have to go to the bullpen than the new guy, Robert Stevenson. He's already pitched a game, and there you see a clean inning. So he's hoping to add on to that and make his case for sticking around once Pomerantz comes back. Which I don't really know how Pomerantz is still in the league. I mean, he's, I guess, been fine. His comeback was pretty cool. But anyways, 2 quick outs. That's hit hard. Into the hole, into left. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. earns his base hit this time. 1 on, 2 outs for Alejandro Kirk, and that's a nice stop by Shenawell. He'll take it to the bag himself, and a good, fairly clean inning for Stevenson. Jorge Soler is up in the bottom of the 6th, and he takes that pitch into right field, and they will look up and watch it fly. That is gone. The solar power is back on, boys. Jorge Soler goes deep, goes the other way, too, for his 5th home run of the season. And we pull within 1. It's 4-3. Right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Zach Neto. And that's the tying run on first. Bottom 8 now. Joe Adele. He's going to go down looking. Had a home run his first time up, but couldn't do much there. Low up the middle. I'm sorry, Shanawell up the middle. That's a base hit. 2 on. 1 out. For Jorge Soler. Grounds it to the pitcher. 1-6-3 double play. Unfortunate. Rally killer. Bottom 9 now. Christian Moore goes down swinging. First out. Logan O'Hoppe grounds it to Guerrero, and he doesn't even really have to think about it too much. Last hope is down on strikes. So, kind of a pitiful way to end that game, but we made it interesting at least. 4-3, couldn't come back, but better than getting shut out and striking out a gazillion times, so we'll take it. It is what it is. So, our pitchers still are winless. Brian Johnson goes to 0-3, moves to 0-3. Jeff Hoffman gets his 4th save of the season. And Brendan Little gets his 2nd win. That error in the 5th really hurt us. Or the 3rd really hurt us. And we are just looking to bounce back. We are going to get swept by the Blue Jays. We head out to KC. We take game 1 in KC. And then we have Ryan Zefron. He is out for a few days. That's fine. Not too worried about that. We'll keep him active. But we do win. And we're going to end up taking 2 out of 3. Alright, looking at the box score, Jose Soriano actually gets the win. So I was wrong. We do have a starting pitcher with at least 2 wins now. So that's nice. And we will win this series against the Royals, so that's good. A little morale booster. Looking at scouting, like I said, this is where I kind of figured out, okay, this scout is 80 efficiency, and as you see, I'm still not loving Bryant Rice. I probably should have had someone else scout him. I did not really think that one through. But, oh well, mistakes were made, and that's fine. So, the new plan with scouting, with this new scout that we're about to bring on, I'm just, like I said, I'm going to go through and just start looking at older position players and just scout them, because it won't take as long, because we wasted the first month of scouting on Bryant Rice. So, it's not wasted, but we are going to kind of course correct a little bit and keep looking at starting pitchers. And Scott Gonzalez is done. He has fallen even further down the board as well. 146. This scout has a lot better efficiency, so I'm going to take his word for it. And yeah, Scott Gonzalez was not it. But you never know. You have to figure it out. We're still, looking at 31 plus pitchers on the board in the central region. We'll move on to international at some point, and we're just going to pick a couple players here and see kind of what we decide on. Maybe Antonio Lopez, maybe not. Look at that beard, though. We also have Ernesto Quintero, the third baseman from the Central region. And you guys can pause, look at his stats. So yeah, we're just gonna look at these two, I guess. And we got Steven Navarro. He is projected to go number 2 overall. But he's 22. You know, these guys down here are like 18, and it's going to take a full month to figure them out. And the reason I kept Gonzalez on our board for so long is I thought, you know, he's going down. Maybe he's one of those generational prospects or whatever. I don't know, y'all. Y'all know I'm bad at scouting. If you've ever watched any of my series that went longer than the ones recently, I'm not so hot at scouting. But this is our board. Although I think maybe that's why I don't keep Gonzalez on here. I definitely move him. I don't know. It's been a minute. Yeah, okay. We do move Gonzalez off our board. So we're going to look at Ernesto Quintero as well. So we'll see how this goes. I don't expect it to go well for me. We're just going to hope and pray because we'll need all the help we can get when it comes to scouting and or drafting. All right, moving on. We've got this game against the White Sox, and we're not going to see much of it. But there were some highlights because you'll see. Anyways, we're down 1-0 thanks to an Andrew Benintendi home run. But Josh Lowe says, well, hold on a second. 2-run shot, his 5th, and we leapfrog over the White Sox 2-1. That's nice. Jorge Soler in the top of the 4th says, wait a minute, even more. I'm going to go towards center field. Center fielder Phillips looks up, leaps, can't bring it back. Solar power once again, his 7th of the season. And it's 3-2. Grayson Rodriguez was on the mound for this one, and y'all, he looked great. I mean, he had some traffic on the base paths, when do we not? But he picked up 10 strikeouts. And you might be asking yourself, well, why are we not watching more of this game? It seems like it's been a pretty good, well-pitched game from, G-Rod. And you'll see. So there's his 10th strikeout. He couldn't go past 5. But this is why. I was all ready to bring Kirby Yates in the top of the 8th, bottom of the 8th. And I could not X out of this screen. I was pressing B. And it was the top of the 8th. So I couldn't just, put someone in the game and be done with it. Nope. I was completely stuck. The game froze here. I had to restart, and I was so angry because, again, it was such a good start from Grayson Rodriguez. He's 0-3. He was going to get his first win, bring that ERA down even further, and 10 punch-outs. I mean, when we have good pitching, we have to celebrate it, right? We have to cherish it and savor it because it's not going to happen very often. And then this crap happens. So the game froze. I couldn't get out of this screen. So I decided, okay, well, I will just X out and I will sim the game. But I was going to give myself this win. I didn't care if it took a gazillion sims. I was not losing this game because I was pretty confident that I was going to have won it anyways. So, that was very annoying. Hopefully this gets, fixed in a patch or something, and it doesn't end up hurting us in the long run. We do have some players come back, but we end up winning this one 4-0, and while it's not the same result, no home runs from Soler or Lowe, but Logan O'Hoppe gets a home run, Josh Lowe does get a double, and Zach Neto gets a double, and Grayson Rodriguez only gets half the strikeouts at 5. Regardless, though, it is a Angels winner, and we do drop the series, so boo. We lose game 3, 3-5. So, what I'm thinking about doing next, we're going to look at how our, farm system is doing according to the robot GM guy. But we're done with playing 175. Now we're just going to pick matchups that I like. So, let's look first at how our farm system was doing. It was a tough month for Chris Cortez. Not great. Jack Kokonowitz had a 6.39 ERA in AAA, so he's not somebody that's, we're looking forward to. Tucker Flint had a 333 average and drove in 17. And then Chris Taylor, who's still around, hit 354. And then Caleb Ort posted a 0 ERA in 9 2/3 innings. And Angel Perdomo only pitched 3 innings, so take that with a grain of salt. Small sample size. We're going to look next at Players of the Month. We're going to look at the AL, then we're going to look at the NL. And, I guess we'll look at scouting first. But we dropped the second game against the Mets. So here's scouting. Again, Antonio Lopez falling down on the board a little bit. I really just want someone who's like solidly a solid 12. You know what I mean? Ernesto Quintero drops to the board to the mid-first round. So we're just gonna move on because it's just gonna take so long to scout them, and I'm not really impressed with what I'm seeing so far. So we're gonna, like I said, look at these older guys and take it from there. We end up, let's get rid of this Trash Panda's injury. Of course, Flint goes down after having a good month, but he's only out for a couple of days. So that's funny. We end up losing 2 of 3 to the Mets. Then we're back at the White Sox, and we're just going to move right on through. Flint is back. We win that one 5-3. And I thought at first, I was like, oh, we'll just play this game, and it'll be a rematch. And then I was like, no. I kind of know what I'm going to get I really want to play another Rodriguez start. I don't really want to play as Kikuchi. And I'm telling y'all right now, right out the gate, we're just skipping Reed Detmer starts. His windup is way too dang slow, and I am not interested in playing it. So his starts, we are shipping him out as soon as possible just because of that windup. It is, oh my god. I feel like I age 10 years just every time I watch him. So we're going to sim up until the finale of this Toronto series. So that's kind of the idea. Looking at the standings, the Mariners are one of the better teams in baseball. 27-9. The rest of the AL West, not so great. So that kind of sucks. Over in the AL Central, the Royals and the White Sox are fighting for first, with the Tigers and the Twins not far behind. Guardians are 5 games out. Don't really want to play them at 13-23. So we will not play that game. The Blue Jays are 21-14, with the Yankees trailing behind 2 games back, as well as the Orioles. In the East, Mets are up on the Braves, with the Phillies there as well. Marlins and Nats are pretty much out of it. Oof. We could be the Nationals at 9-26. That's not great. Dodgers, of course, leading their division. And there's the wild card. Brewers are the ones that are kind of out of it. So that's an interesting start to the first month of the season. But, things can always change. Players of the month. Your hitter of the month, or pitcher of the month, is Joe Ryan. There you see with the Twins. And he had 41 strikeouts. Cal Raleigh with 9 home runs and a 327 batting average is your player of the month. And Chase DeLauder for Cleveland is your rookie of the month, and 318 average, 3 home runs, and 19 RBIs in a few starts. Nolan McLean, good God, 5-0. He is your pitcher and rookie of the month in 6 starts, 2 ERA. Woof! And Brandon Lau is your Pirates player of the month for the month of April. Alright, we're going to just move right on through and keep on simming as we try to get past the White Sox and not drop the season series. We win that one 9-3, and Jose Soriano is out for a day or 2, but we do, so is Lucchesi, but we do win that 7-0. Y'all check out this box score. A combined no-hitter from Soriano, Zephron, and Chase Silseth. I like Silseth. He's been fun to work with. Soriano, of course, got hurt and left the game early. You kind of wonder how long he would have gone on for that no-hitter, but a few walks, whatever. But a combined no-hitter, and we sweep the White Sox. That's pretty cool. Trout is a triple away from the cycle. I'm sure he did not get it. But we do defeat the Blue Jays. More injuries. Not too worried about AAA. We win Game 2 against the Blue Jays, 9-0. Perhaps we threw a no-hitter? No. Although 8 hits, not terrible. So that was a good start from Ryan Johnson. He gets his first win. So it'll be a good pitching matchup. G-Rod versus Gosman. And the Angels are going to look to continue this 6-game winning streak and pick up another sweep. So that's where we'll be next time on the channel, y'all. And if you like that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, so I post videos as often as I can. And we've got something interesting to look forward to. So hopefully the game won't glitch again. And we'll get to see Rodriguez throw a gem against Kevin Gosman. I can't hit against him, so that'll be fun. All right, y'all. Take care. I will see y'all next time.